If you're a Chargers fan, take a deep breath. Because what's happening right now isn't just another chapter in the season, it's a moment that could define the entire future of this team. Pressure is rising, emotions are high, and every single snap from here on out carries weight. You can almost feel the electricity in the air, right? And trust me, what I'm about to reveal will make every Chargers fan sit up straight. There's drama. There's risk. There's opportunity. And there is one massive shift that just changed everything in the AFC playoff race. But hold on, before we dive deeper into the chaos. If you love the Chargers, hit that subscribe button right now, drop a like, and smash the bell icon so you never miss breaking news, updates, or anything happening in Bolt Nation. Your support keeps this channel alive. Now, let's get into it. The Chargers were cruising. The path to the postseason looked clean, simple, almost secure. But then, the NFL did what the NFL always does. It flipped the script. One loss. One upset. One bad week, and suddenly the entire playoff picture twisted into something nobody saw coming. Week 11 was supposed to be the moment the Chargers locked in control. Instead, that loss to Jacksonville knocked the door wide open for chaos. What looked like a comfortable postseason run has now turned into a wild fight for survival. A 7-4 record doesn't guarantee anything anymore, not with half the AFC breathing down the Chargers' neck. The competition is fierce, hungry, and ready to pounce on any mistake. But here's the twist no one expected: the Broncos, yes, the Broncos, delivered the Chargers a lifeline by taking down the Kansas City Chiefs. That gave Los Angeles a crucial 1.5 game advantage in the head-to-head chase, a small break in a storm full of pressure. But let's be real, nobody can rely on favors. Not now. Not in this conference. From this moment on, the Chargers must play with urgency, intensity, and absolute focus. Because the real battle? It starts right now. So stay with me, things are about to get even more intense. The AFC race is tightening, and every shadow feels like a threat creeping closer. The Chiefs are still dangerous, still capable of turning the entire conference upside down with one strong performance. And even the Texans, sitting at 5-5, are hanging around just enough to make the fight for every playoff slot feel like a battlefield. For the Chargers, the margin for error has vanished. Every possession matters. Every decision matters. And every mistake could be the one that keeps them out of January football. Taking down teams like the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Eagles isn't just about playing harder, it's about playing smarter, tougher, and with a level of composure this team hasn't consistently shown. The pressure is real, and the clock is unforgiving. But the real concern goes deeper than the standings. This isn't just about a bad night or one unlucky game. The problems run right through the heart of the team, especially the trenches. The offensive line and defensive line have been hit the hardest, and the results have been painful. Justin Herbert has been left exposed far too often, forced into broken plays and buried under sacks before receivers can even finish their routes. The run game? It barely has room to breathe, let alone dominate. Even the attempt to fortify the line with Becton didn't translate the way fans hoped. He rotated in and out, never finding the stability or impact the Chargers desperately needed. The gamble didn't pay off, and the line remained vulnerable at the worst possible times. And the issues don't stop with the offense. The defensive front couldn't get a grip on the game, and it showed in every painful minute. There was no consistent pressure, no disruption, no resistance strong enough to slow Jacksonville down. The Jaguars controlled the ball, dictated the rhythm, and forced the Chargers to play on their heels from start to finish. When a team loses the battle in the trenches, everything else starts to crumble, and that's exactly what happened. These issues aren't the kind you patch up with small fixes or temporary solutions. The time for minor tweaks is over. What the Chargers need now is a full structural rebuild, a reset that starts deep within the foundation of this roster. If this team wants to rise again, they have to begin shaping the future immediately, and that begins with the next draft. No more shortcuts. No more hoping someone steps up out of nowhere. It's time to invest in players who can anchor this team for years. One name that stands out is Oliva Vega-Ion from Penn State, a powerhouse guard prospect built for dominance. At 6 feet 4 inches and 326 pounds, he plays like a wall that refuses to move. He opens running lanes with sheer force and brings the kind of pass protection that gives quarterbacks an extra heartbeat to find their moment. A player like Ion could bring immediate stability to the offensive line, something Justin Herbert has been desperately missing. Adding him wouldn't just be a good move, it would be a turning point. But rebuilding can't stop on one side of the ball. The defense needs new energy, new strength, and new leaders. That's where Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State, enters the conversation. Standing 6 feet 4 inches and weighing 242 pounds, he brings the blend of physicality, range, and instinct that modern defenses crave. He's the kind of player who changes the feel of a game simply by being on the field. And right now, the Chargers need exactly that kind of presence. Styles brings the kind of physical presence that instantly changes the tone of a defense. He wins at the line of scrimmage, moves with surprising range for his size, and adapts to whatever the offense throws at him. That versatility, being able to cover the field, fill gaps, and disrupt plays in multiple ways, makes him exactly the type of piece the Chargers desperately need in their front seven. A defense that struggles to stop the run and can't consistently pressure quarterbacks won't survive in today's NFL. Styles could help flip that script. And the truth is simple, the Chargers can't afford to wait anymore. The season isn't over, but the window is shrinking. The only way forward is through bold, immediate changes. The trenches, on both sides, must be at the top of the priority list. Without solid protection and consistent disruption, this team will continue to fall short when the pressure peaks. The upcoming bye week might be the most important pause of the season. It's the moment to adjust, reset, and find answers before the stretch run begins. And even with all the uncertainty surrounding the roster, there's finally a bit of hope emerging. Rookie running back Hampton is inching closer to returning after being sidelined since Week 5. His comeback could bring a spark the offense has been missing. Before his injury, he showed exactly why the Chargers were so high on him: tough runs, reliable hands, and the ability to produce whether he was taking handoffs or catching passes out of the backfield. In his last 3 outings, he logged double-digit carries and hauled in multiple receptions each game. His breakout moment came against the Giants, when he exploded for 128 rushing yards on just 12 attempts, plus 5 catches for 37 more. Performances like that don't happen by accident, they come from talent, patience, and confidence. And the Chargers could use all 3 right now. Kamani Vital has stepped into the spotlight with confidence, carrying the backfield through some of the toughest weeks of the season. His burst, his patience, and his consistency, including 3 straight games over 95 yards, have kept the offense alive when it easily could have collapsed. He's proven he can handle the load, and because of that, the Chargers don't need to force a Hampton back before he's truly ready. But let's be honest, Hampton's return could change everything. When he's healthy, he brings a different type of energy, a back who can punish defenses, make defenders miss, and become a dangerous weapon in both the run and pass game. The vision of having both Vital and Hampton available at the same time is something every Chargers fan has imagined. It's balance. It's versatility. It's threat. And now that his recovery is nearly complete, the question becomes impossible to ignore: can Hampton return to the level he showed before the injury, and help push this team toward the postseason? This entire season has been a storm of challenges mixed with flashes of opportunity. A brutal playoff race. Questions on the offensive and defensive lines. Key players fighting their way back. Every puzzle piece matters, and over the next few weeks, the Chargers will discover whether those pieces finally fit, or whether the pressure becomes too much. So as the story of this season reaches its most intense chapter, there's only one thing left to ask: are you ready to see how this unfolds? Stay with me, the real turning point is just ahead.